Hey, what's going on, guys? So I do apologize again for that inconvenience. Um, Again, I think we should be all good and all set. You guys can see my P&L on the day. Again, I ended up buying the dip. I ended up selling the peak, and today I'm really trying to stay away from like being greedy, just trying to lock in profits. So you guys can see I'm up a little bit over $693 on the day. Really, what I've locked in is about 623. The 70 that just came in is currently on my other position. On my new position that I just took as it started reversing back up. There tends to be a resistance right around that 4150 area. It looks like it might be struggling to continue to push up, but it's still showing signs of an uptrend. So stream quality looks to be a lot better. Let me just double check. There we go. I'm going to pause this. And again, I do truly apologize today is the last day that I'm going to be here in California. So it's the last day that the stream quality is going to be like this. So can you guys see everything? Can you guys let me know if everything is good in the chat? Let's see. Are we good? There we go. Getting a nice little push up. So I'm going to put my limit order to sell. Yeah, 100 of percent of my position ready. We're getting a nice little push up. Okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Looks like, okay. I'm going to close this out, so I'm not going to focus on what my profits are. I'm just going to try to focus on the overall idea of, let's see where this is at. So it looks like we're seeing a slight resistance at around this area right here, around like 4130, around the 4130, 4135 area. So it looks like it's gotten rejected there once, twice, and three times. So as it's pushing right back up, if it doesn't break this fourth time, I'm gonna have to consider if it ends up even coming up. Yeah, it looks like it got fully rejected. So it looks like it got rejected there. All right, looks like we're picking back up. Yeah, my parents aren't huge on internet. I mean, they have to stay within their means. So I do apologize again. The inconvenience is pretty much on. Um, it's my fault. I should be traveling with a better hotspot. Um, so yeah. Let's see. Yeah, looks like that resistance right around that 4135 area was a pretty solid resistance. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like people are saying it's getting rejected on that 180-day EMA. Let's check that out, 100%. So Grim Trent, thank you again for that reminder. So as we see right now, Gush is definitely starting to show signs of I can't say of a reversal, but it's not making lower lows anymore. Just like we talked about, just like what we found attractive, just like we covered in yesterday's video, right? It started to show signs of a reversal. I wanted to follow up very quickly as, this thing is still trying to pick up. I'm just going to set my alert on this, or I'll just keep an eye on it. But you guys sold off to 54.80, ticker symbol ON, still showing signs of an uptrend, not, what's it called, still trying to move up. Looks like during pre-market hours ended up hitting that top VWAP, so that's something that we can take, that SMA indicator, right? Shopify experiencing a little bit of a pullback. This is exactly what we expected. I don't know if you guys remember, but again, resistance at 170, it makes sense on why it's selling off. Watch out for the potential sell-off to around 161, 162, just like we expected. Zillow is selling off just a little bit as well. Again, it was been making higher highs. So let's make sure that we keep a good eye out for a potential pullback. You guys see that I have my alert set here as it gets closer to that EMA indicator. And in all honesty, the only two that I'm really keeping an eye on is Z and Shop. So ticker symbol Z, ticker symbol Shop, and then Gush. Other than that, I'm not really watching anything too actively besides those two. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's look at /CL. So yeah, we're getting a nice little bounce around the SMA indicator, so that's actually a really good sign. We'll see if it makes higher highs. There it goes. Here we go, making new highs. So this should be a reversal for Gush. Let's see if it ends up picking up. It doesn't mean that it has to. It just means that at least the what's it called, crude oil is futures are reversing back. Let's take a look. There we go. Starting to pick up a little bit better. Again, area of opportunity. One thing that I did very good during pre-market or during early market hours is I've already bought and sold Gush twice. So I saw when it was picking up, I saw that it pushed up to around 41.30. Ended up selling my first position at around 41.20. It sold off. I was able to buy the dip again, and then it pushed up, right? And then I was able to sell at 41.62 if I'm not mistaken. And then it sold off, right? Got filled at 40.15. It looks like one thing that I should have done and should have identified a little bit better is that resistance that it clearly had at around 41.30. It was very easy to see, but as you guys can see right now, it's building a somewhat of a support right on this like 40.70 area, 40.80 area. That tends to be where it likes to bounce. We'll see if it reverses here. It's still trending below the EMA indicator, so let's make sure that we note that. The reason that I took my initial position was because we were above the EMA line and we were above the middle VWAP, but then it got rejected. So yeah. So I didn't trade drip yesterday at all. I didn't trade yesterday whatsoever. I just took my initial position for Gush. There it goes, still selling off. So we can see now that I'm only up $413, a little bit under now, 400. It looks like it's selling off a little bit more than we would want it to. Again, now it's gaining or being around this area where the SMA indicator is at. Looks like I'm down 230 on this initial position. So we'll see if we see a reversal here or if I'll have to cut losses. And again, my position size isn't that large when it comes down to my normal position size. So that's definitely something that I took into consideration, knowing that I was, buying a little bit more when it wasn't like necessarily the best deal. So if I see a bounce and if I see it start making higher highs, then yeah. So why is your clock not counting? It should be. I don't know. This is on my laptop. I don't know if my laptop setup is a little bit different. There we go. We're getting a nice little push up. So what I'm going to do, click edit, buy 200 shares. There we go. Starting to get that reversal back up. You can see the MACD indicator starting to curve back in a little bit. RSI is starting to point right back up. We'll see if we get that overall reversal. All right, here we go. There we go. That's nice. All right, so average price is at 41.05 now. Here it comes. Can we break above 40.90? Again, one thing that I like about this pattern right here is that it sold off right. I didn't necessarily like that it sold off. I should have locked in profits up here when I was up, right? But it sold off. It's bouncing right around that bottom VWAP. It's trying to make higher highs, not make lower lows. So that's definitely something that we find a little bit attractive. But I'm saying that I bought and I'm trading Gush. So it's kind of just like connecting the dots. I bought 200 more shares of Gush. I don't think it shows everything it is that I'm doing down here. Watch out for the potential resistance right around this EMA indicator. All right, there we go. Starting to recover. Back up a little bit over 500. There we go. Back up over 600. Nice, nice. All right. Here we go. Nice, nice. All right, pushing up. No, are you going to swing trade Gush? That's definitely not the plan as of right now. Yeah, definitely 100%. I'll check that out right now. I'm just gonna sell this position on Gush, and then we should be good. So we're back up on the day, a little bit over $635. Feels good, right? Didn't trade yesterday. Very slow day. What's it called? On Wednesday. Very slow kind of week altogether just because of the travels. So let me give it just one. So that's actually a really good question. Thank you again. I think it's Jake, right, for asking that. So we are approaching this area where it normally bounces at. We're approaching that bottom VWAP, right? But the biggest indication that it's showing signs of a reversal is that every time that it pushes up and it pulls back, it doesn't make lower lows, right? It continues to try to make higher highs, and then it pushes up and again doesn't make lower lows. So that was just the indication of like when something begins to no longer sell off. So like let's say when it was selling off here and it hits the support at 480 and then it pushes up and then pulls back but pushes up and continues to make higher highs. That's what I find attractive. So 100%, Kevin. This week was definitely not the best week, and please don't let it discourage you. It was definitely not a good week for a lot of us. So a lot of people did do very well. Super pleased to have to hear that a lot of people did very well. That's great. I personally didn't do very well, so I'm right there with you, Kevin. So up a little bit over $700 on the day. There we go. A little bit over 732, 750. There we go. Again, approaching this area where it's had a previous resistance. I know that it can continue to uptrend, but I know that this is an area where it probably can make like lower highs and stuff like that. So dang, looks like I'm talking a little bit too much and not doing enough. I'm just gonna have to. I just want to explain it to you guys like before I do it, so you guys know kind of like what it is that I'm doing. Um, but I know that you guys pretty much all understand. So I'm buying shares, not options. I don't know what's this is Gush. That's good. That's actually really good, Paul. That you didn't take any positions this week, since that's an obvious sign of being very disciplined. What up, Sam? Super happy to hear that you hit your weekly goal. It sounds like you missed a little bit because of locking in profits too early. That's definitely something that some people were talking about of an issue having this week. But again, that's a very nice issue to have. Not a very I don't think All right, here we go. Nice little push up. Dang, my exit was not the best. 41.25. And there it goes. All right, so 767.85. Yeah, Ricky, you feeling okay? Hope you. Oh no, nothing at all. I'm feeling great. Um, there's only been one YouTuber that I've seen that doesn't like me. But we are good. We're doing what it is that we love every single day, right? And um, feel like we're definitely having a positive impact in a lot of people's lives, and we're making money. So, as you guys can see, 767.85 on the day. Definitely a solid way to end the week. I think we've been trading for about a little bit over 34 minutes, right since the market has opened. So check out the 1 hour chart on Gush. Seems to be bouncing on the SMA. Thank you for that, Mohammed. Let's check it out. So again, that's why it's so important to look at different time frames. And thank you guys for the reminder. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Nice little consolidation, reversal going on right here. Gosh, it's going from bearish to bullish, right? That's definitely something that we find very attractive. And again, there's so much margin for it to cover before you even like right now, you know that I'm trading it. Please don't even feel forced to even take a position because it's so early, right? This thing can still get rejected and it still might take time for consolidation. Let's say you set your alerts for the break above 42, right? All power to you, right? If you want to wait till the break above 42 and wait for a more solid confirmation, it has so much more margin to cover that the opportunity cost is so great that it's just like, just wait for the confirmation. And if it confirms it and you feel comfortable, great. And if it never confirms it and it gets rejected, that is amazing because that's where your patience is coming in, right? And I want to make sure that we, don't stray away from that. So, super happy to hear that a lot of you guys are very disciplined. You guys are all looking at like different time frames and stuff like that. That's definitely something that is very attractive to call. But yeah, so it looks like we're getting a little bit of a sell-off right now. You crack me up, Don. I want to thank you. I actually want to take this time and thank you all for your guys' patience and support throughout yesterday. As our group continues to grow, unfortunately, there will be people that are not okay with that, or maybe just personally just don't like me, and I want to apologize that that is something that you guys personally have to deal with. Um, Here, let me. But what I wanted to say is like if there's ever any issue or anything that it's being said within the group that you do not agree with, then that is where I would encourage you to message me, and I would love the opportunity to work with you to make sure that the overall experience and environment within the community is something that you abide with, right? So I really do appreciate your guys' patience and or your guys' kind words and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I let you guys know that you guys definitely mean a lot to me. You get filled. Oh, all right, we got filled at 40.97. My goodness, Vanquish covered profits on shop for around 6% profit, 1,050. Thanks again, Ricky. That is all your hard work. Definitely not. I'm just here to. I was gonna say look pretty, but let's be honest with this hair. I think we could all agree that I'm definitely not doing a very good job doing that. Here we go. Again, looks like for a potential sell-off, looks like there's a pretty solid resistance at around this area. So I'm really happy to know that I sold when it was around this area right there. So watch out for the potential sell-off to around the SMA indicator or the bottom VWAP where it normally tends to bounce. Ooh, sorry about that. Is it getting any better, team, or no? Really sorry about that, team. Thank you, thank you. Wow. You guys you guys are too nice today. You guys must think I'm like really sad or something. Um, really do appreciate your guys' kind words. It really does mean a lot. Yeah. Don, I think you're right. It is starting to make it is making higher lows, but also I see it really struggling to break resistance levels. It might just be me not being patient enough, but we'll see. So as of right now, we're up a little bit over 800. Average position at 4107. Uh, I don't. Do you guys really think I'm sad? I'm not sad at all. I hope you guys know that. I sound tired. What the heck? Guys, I slept for 5 hours last night. That is more than enough sleep that I normally get. Inverse head and shoulders. I like that. Man, you guys are killing it today. Gabe. No, let's not go there. Alright, alright. Let's see. Looks like shop is actually reversing back up. You sound like TOPS. Oh, Junie, it's the most mean thing anyone has ever told me. So it looks like shop was having a very aggressive sell-off. Looks like it hit lows of 164. I think we called it out to potential. It looks like it might be getting rejected actually. So let's see if it continues to make higher highs or if it gets rejected again. I want to see if it could actually start making lower lows again, um, and then go from there. So. How are you able to sleep so little each night? I actually think that's quite a bit. Um, there's actually a video that I shared with the group a while ago about um, sleep schedules and those that sleep very little, just to maximize like productivity. I'm gonna share that video with you guys again. It's probably one of my favorite videos. I think a lot of you guys might be able to adapt and might understand then why I do what I do. Yeah, looks like it's kind of struggling. So, hey Ricky, do you think that AA has peaked and is making lower lows? I did see that for a little while. So following up with ticker symbol AA, I did see that it's been selling off just for you know, a little bit longer than I think that we would feel comfortable with. So on this 180-day analysis, I can't say that there's a break of pattern, but it has been selling off. It's not really making lower lows. It's been holding still above that like $47 price point, but it's been struggling to make higher highs, and that's kind of what I've been like most like iffy about and stuff like that. So I would set an alert to see if it breaks below that specific price point at around like this area right here around like 46.50 to $47 is normally where it tends to be the support. So I would look out for that. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Team checkout, polyphase, phasic speed, yeah. All right, so it looks like /CL did hit its peak around 770, so just like what we expected. Looks like it might be selling off a little bit. Definitely a little bit more on the overbought side. It definitely can continue to try to make higher highs, but understanding that this has been an area on when it's been getting rejected, I might want to consider the idea of potentially cutting losses. Looks like we might get a... Ooh, holy crap. I apologize for my foul language. I really do apologize for that. I didn't mean to say crap. Looks like we got a nice little push going on right now. Alright, just sold at 20. A little bit over $900 on the day. There it goes, pushing up, making higher highs. There it goes, 41.30. And the reason why is this thing can shoot up, right? This thing can 100% continue to shoot up. And there it goes. Shot up, broke that resistance. That's great. But understanding that it's overbought, I just need to take that into consideration, right? Here comes a potential sell-off, and then we can go from there. You guys are okay. I guess I could say more bad words than that's what you guys want, right? Alrighty, here comes a potential sell-off, right? And it looks like if you guys have been noticing, like with my exits, there's only been one exit that I missed out on and one dip buy that I missed out on. Looks like I took an exit there pretty nicely. This is normally the area of where it gets rejected at. So let's say this is actually a scenario that I want to cover. Let's say all of a sudden, based on previous patterns, like it sold off here. That's where I sold, the second time, right? It sold off. I was able to buy the dip, buy the reversal, and then I should have sold there. I didn't. It got rejected. I ended up selling here, right? It sold off. I ended up buying the dip, sold here. So you guys can see that there's this pattern of it getting rejected at around this 41.30 area. Let's say all of a sudden Gush goes up to 41.50 or 41 or $42 all of a sudden. Like let's say it just shoots up. So with that understanding, do you guys still know like what I think a lot of there it goes, and it's picking back up. And it looks like it just has a 41.50. And I still feel okay. Like yes, it does suck that I missed out on like that pretty much 30 cents per share. That definitely does it does suck, right? It definitely does suck, no question about it. But I still sold at an area that made sense on why I sold. Does that make sense? And that is what is important. I want to be focused so much more on there being a valid reason on why I'm selling and why I should sell because of what is happening, not what of can happen, right? And that is the that is the concept and the psychology that I want you guys to be playing in your head when considering selling something. You guys should be selling something not because, you just feel like it or because someone told you to. You should be selling because there is a valid reason of an indication that something is more on the overbought side or an indication of a potential reversal. Does that make sense? So, yeah. So that is what I wanted to cover. There's been a lot of people talking about, hey Ricky, like I've been locking in profits a little bit too early, more a little bit more than what I'm comfortable with and stuff like that, and that is 100% like a better issue to have than to be greedy, not lock in profits quick enough, and then to get rejected by the resistance. So I think if you are locking in profits too early, you can always focus and try to be a little bit more risky. But again, I want you guys all to know that locking in profits, it's definitely not an issue to have. And if there's a valid reason for what it is that you are doing every single time, then you are doing what it is that you can as a trader. You cannot tell the future. I could not know. I did not. There's no way that I was going to be able to know that Gush was going to push up to 4150. Yes, based on previous patterns, it had that potential, idea, but it also, based on previous patterns, made much more sense on why it would get rejected around, that 4130 area. So that's why I wanted to consider the idea of selling at that position. Yeah, so I mean, what am I looking at for one thing that I like that's been, consistently actively trending up has been, the ticker, shop, but I don't feel like it's at the exact price point. You see how it's selling off right now? I would like it to be a little bit closer to that 180-day EMA line and to be showing more signs of a reversal. That's kind of what I would like to look out for. So do you see how it sold off today to like 41.63? I mean, I'm sorry. What the heck? Where did I get that number? 163. I think that it has the potential to sell off and maybe to like 162. And because of this ascending uptrend pattern and the overall resistance at 170, I would find this to be, a pretty decent trade that I would consider swing trading because it's been an ongoing uptrend. So the reason that I'm not calling out Gush to be a swing trade is because it's still trending below the EMA line. And although it is actively trending up, so like right now it's pushing up and it's just a little bit more on the overbought side. And there's just a higher form of risk in investing in patterns like this, especially before the confirmation. So I just wanted you guys to know that. I really like the pattern on Zillow, right, showing signs of an uptrend and stuff like that. So yeah, so it looks like it's building an ascending support, and it looks like, yeah, so right around 41.25, 41.30, wherever it is that we validate that support. Um, but yeah, so probably if I end up taking a position or a swing trade position on either Gush, Shop, or Z, I'm probably not going to be in more than 50%. I'm probably going to try to keep it less than 50% of what my normal position is. So yeah, that would definitely be the goal. But again, it's like what we expect it to do, or what we still need to wait for the confirmation. So with the confirmation, we are actually working towards getting there, right? So. Let's see what happens here. So around this area should be around like 41.30. Yep, definitely. So it's doing a very good job holding. And I just don't want to make the mistake of getting in a little bit too high. But if you guys see, it's doing a very good job just consolidating around this area. Something that I would normally do is like I would try to buy here and then sell around this area. But then I have to, take into consideration and ask myself, is this margin worth it? Is this margin of profit worth it? And really doing the math, it's not. And I just have to, consider the understanding of like, I need to make sure that I focus on good deals and take opportunity cost into consideration. So yeah. And there it goes. It's definitely picking up, and it can continue to, make higher highs and cover and stuff like that, and that's great and all. But um, I would much rather be a little bit more on the conservative side. So, Donnie, crack up. So Kevin, you're saying so no offense, but I think if you're not going to be in the voice chat once in a while, experienced traders should be there. I don't know what the purpose of that message is. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to direct message either myself or any of the experienced traders or Justin. And then we have these daily live streams. Like that's what this group is about. There's enough resources out there that we've provided, and if there's not, then we're always open to suggestions on what we can continue to share to have you or get you to have a better understanding of how to successfully trade. So yeah. So I'm joking, by the way. What'd you say? Oh, you cracked me up. You guys are ridiculous. Hope you guys know that anything that Don says or Ramil is now adding to it, and Junie, uh, they're all jokesters. So let's make sure that we don't get. I mean, they're definitely really good. Don, or I've personally I've seen a couple of Don's trades and Muhammad's trades as well. There we go, nice little push up on, gosh. But they definitely do like joking around quite a bit. So let's not. What's it called? Sweet, thank you, Don, for that. Wow, Don can be nice. YouTube is greater than the voice chat. I agree. Mark Lindsay, what's going on, Mark? Hope you're doing well. 100%, yeah. Let's see. All right. So as we could see, definitely a little bit more on the overbought side. The EMA line has picked up quite a bit. Now we're around 135, 137, 41.35, 41.37. I apologize for that. Z is, if I'm not mistaken, pulling back just a little bit. It looks like it sold off to around 62.60. That's pretty nice. Let's see. Here we go. There it goes. Volume is pretty low on Z. I 100% agree. There we go. Yeah, Malcolm, definitely. And that's why we talk about certain stocks that are, progressively slowly moving up and some that are more aggressively moving up. And it sounds like you really like ones that move a little bit quicker. That's your style. And I love that you're sharing that with us. Um, so now you know that that's your style. Just make sure that you do well with those. And if you do, great. I really hope that it could do very well for you. Okay, yeah, so I would consider, so I don't know exactly how much it is that you are trading with, but I wouldn't invest. It might be like how much it is that you have invested. So the question was like I get a little bit scared, averaging up or adding more to my position as something continues to uptrend. I wouldn't. We never talk about doing averaging down, right? That's definitely not something like we never buy as something continues to descend. We've talked about that multiple times. I have a whole video in the course talking about that I don't like to average down. But one thing that I do like to do is when, let's say when it starts to show signs of an uptrend pattern, I like to make sure that I add more to my position as it continues to uptrend. Based on your understanding, if you're still like having trouble building that confidence in identifying something that's moving up, then what you can do is watch out for the sell-off. I don't think it's actually going to catch on this EMA line. I think it might sell off just a little bit more. So just watch out for that. But one thing that I would look out for is maybe instead of trading with your full-on account, really just focus on a percentage of that account and then only take like 50% first of that 50% and then add the additional 50% later. But altogether, it's still a very small portion of your account, and all you're doing is just practicing and making sure that you're getting in at for a good buy. Here we go, pretty solid sell-off. I don't recall you ever going over the problem of low volume. Michael, there's actually a video in the course that talks about, for specific stocks especially, that I want to make sure that I focus on stocks that have over a certain amount of volume. So it is explained in the course. Oh, Chris, there's actually a video in the course. So they're hotkeys. So I do like options B, and I show you how to set up your hotkeys. Yeah, Don, I'm feeling you on that, and that's why I talked about. Uh, wow, this thing is not getting filled. Yeah, my order is not getting filled. Looks like I'm gonna have to convert to. Let me change this up. So because my order isn't getting filled and I'm within an area of where, it's still, oh, there it goes. There we go. Let's see. Love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Don, for sharing that video. All right. Let's see where we go from here. Okay. See if we get a bounce. Watch out for the resistance on this EMA indicator. If we don't break above it, that would be a solid indication for a potential rejection. As you guys saw, that forward slash CL was a little bit more on the overbought side. Here we go. There we go. There we go. A nice little push up. A little bit over $1,000 on the day. Let's take a look at forward slash CL. There we go. Starting to push up. Nope, looks like it got rejected. Alright, so it looks like there's a resistance. Yeah, so it's pulling back. So obvious indication of a resistance right around that 4150 area. We'll see if we're able to catch it back up. I probably should have sold with a market order, and again, that was my mistake. I was trying to get out at an exact price, so yeah, that was definitely my mistake. Area of opportunity for myself. I need to focus more on just getting out and focusing on that. So All right, there it goes. It's starting to pick up. Filled. And $1,039.64. And I think I'm done for the day, team. Um, I'm going to set my. I really like the swing trade potential that Gush has to offer. But it's a little bit too early for me to tell. So if all of a sudden it starts to really push up, if I feel like I can get in for a really good buy, then I'll probably take a 300 share position. So if you guys do the math, that's about $12,000. And based on that, I that's about like 30% or of what my normal position size is. So it looks like it's still trending up. Congrats to all those that are still holding and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, I mean that's really just it. So I think we did a very good job ending the week on a green note. We're focusing on a pattern that was trading in between the middle and top VWAP and scalping it. I'm just gonna cover again very quickly on the 180-day analysis. We could see that it is starting to show signs of a reversal pattern. It did this last time, right, with the MACD, and you guys could see all that. We could definitely see that there's this resistance right around the EMA indicator. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit patient. Yeah, I definitely do think that Gush does have the potential to hit highs of 45 or 50, but unfortunately, whatever it is that I care or hope for or think, it doesn't matter if there's no confirmation. So let's make sure that we remember that confirmation is key, and confirmation is something that we really need to focus on. As of right now, looking at ticker symbol ON, it's still looking like it's starting to make higher highs. It's probably going to try to hit that SMA indicator right around that $24 price point. So let's make sure that we take that into consideration. We already talked about ticker symbol, Z, and how it's heading towards that $65 price point. Looking for a better entry around $61 as it's getting rejected since it's a little bit more on the overbought side. And the same thing is going for ticker symbol SHOP. SHOP is a little bit more on the overbought side. I'm waiting for a little bit more of an aggressive sell-off. Not too sure if I'm going to actually be able to experience that. It's doing a very good job trying to hold above that middle VWAP. I have my alert set just in case. And if I do, great. And if I don't, then just move on to the next one, right? But yeah, I mean that's really just it. So 45-ish, you cracked me up. It was the bottom view up. Yeah. So again, why is it that I sold at around this area? Very easy, right, to understand. Why is it that I bought around this area? We could see that there were signs of a support, again, that middle VWAP. And then as it was approaching this resistance around the 4150 to 4160, yes, it does have the potential to continue to make higher highs, but knowing that this is normally where it gets rejected based on 1-2 times, just all within one day, looking at relevant patterns, it makes sense on why it can get rejected here. And that's what I was, really focused on. So I'm missing out on about 10 cents and thinking about 10 cents for the 700 shares that I had in it. That's about $70. Yes, that's if I maximize my overall profits and efficiency and stuff like that. And that's great and all, but in reality, again, I needed to focus on consistency, on that being more conservative and stuff like that. So that's really just it. So yeah, I mean, I talked about my day trade today. I talked about a couple of stocks that I'm looking at for potential swing trades. You guys have my alerts. I'm going to be traveling back to Arizona today, but I have 3 meetings, at least 2 meetings 3 meetings because I actually have one at 8 o'clock. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be there on time. But yeah, I'm going to set some alerts. I'm going to see if we can experience a little bit of a pullback, and then we can kind of go from there. So I really want to thank you guys again for your time and for everything that is that you guys do. I also did use foul language today. I did say the C word. I said crap. So I do apologize for that. But I know you guys are just joking. So thank you guys again for so it's in money. It's harder to keep money in trading, locking in profits is important until it's not really. Yep, 100%. Yeah, so 100%. Just again, remember that no one goes broke by locking in profits. If you're always going to be focusing on the what ifs, then unfortunately, that emotion is really going to get in your head. Just focus on there being a reason on why it is that you're buying, why it is that you're selling, and that it's valid. And just focus on the big picture. You know, is the extra $70 that I could have made right now really going to like bother me 10 years down the road? No, what is going to bother me is if I don't consistently lock in profits so I can continue trading for the next 10 years. That's what's most important. So glad this week is almost over. Austin, me too. This week has been very slow when it came down to trading. I'm super blessed to have been able to have ended today a little bit over 1K. And let's just keep it consistent. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys again so much for your time. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to direct message me. Once I get back to Arizona, I'm going to be working on that section in the course that I'm going to be updating on the trading on the go. So I'm really pleased and happy that a lot of you guys are really looking forward to that. So thank you guys again. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.